Hi, I'm Daniel, pre-sales engineer here at Nearmap. Today I'm going to show you how to add high-resolution vertical and oblique imagery to your proposals and your designs in Nearmap on OpenSolar. Let's get started. First, there are a couple key things to know about studio settings before we get started. If you click on the gear on the top right, and then click on Studio Preferences, you'll see that Start in Basic Mode is enabled. This is enabled whenever you are a first-time Nearmap on OpenSolar user. With that enabled, you'll see the Nearmap vertical imagery on your main panel, and in the bottom left, you'll see this icon that says Choose Imagery. Clicking on that gives you the imagery options, and you'll see a few different things here. You'll see the change map type. The one you'll want is Nearmap vertical. You also see the historical imagery and the Nearmap source imagery, also known as the oblique imagery. Now we could add additional views here, but to make it easier, we're just going to jump over into Advanced View. So again, click on the gear on the top right, Studio Preferences, and then toggle off Basic Mode. With that toggled off, you just need to refresh your screen now. And you'll see some additional views pop up on the bottom left here. On my screen, you'll see the vertical imagery with the Show Customer banner, and then 4 oblique views. Depending on your subscription will depend on what all views load. I'm going to go ahead and jump into the vertical view and see what options I have. So we talked about that it is the Nearmap vertical imagery is what we're seeing. Additionally, you have access to the historical imagery. So we have imagery going back to 2007 in Australia and going back to 2014 in the US, which you can access here. Let's take a look at what the 2014 imagery looked like. So you click on the 2014, that imagery will load up here. Let's say you want to be able to click back and forth between those two types of imagery. What you can do is you can click on Duplicate, which is on the top of this panel here. And now I'll add an additional view, which you see at the end of this list here. So you click into that view, and we'll change this back into the 2020 imagery. So now we have 2 different views. Let's go ahead and reorder this so that this one is right next to this one by hitting the reorder button. So now those are side by side. You can quickly go back and forth between those and see the change that's happened over time. Next, let's jump into an oblique view. So this is the north-facing oblique view. And let's say you wanted to update this view because you don't really like it, or maybe it's not showing the angle that you would like of the house. So if you click on the view, you have all these other options for the oblique imagery. We want a north-facing view, so you'll hit north. And let's update it for this top one here. I like this image a lot better, so we're going to go ahead and keep this image. But in case you wanted to add an additional view to the ones we already have, you can also hit the Add button, and that will add one more view over here. In this case, we don't want this one, so you just click on it, go back up to the top, and then hit Delete. And now we'll remove that view. Now I mentioned earlier about this banner that says Show Customer. That's just indicating what views are going to be present in the proposal. So we have the 2 historical views. Let's also add a north-facing view. So if you just click on the view and then check this box here that says Show Customer, you'll get an additional banner here, and then you'll be able to see that in your proposal. And while I've been going around, you might have seen this little box that shows the imagery clearly in the middle and kind of faded out around the edges. This is just showing how much of that view is going to be present in the proposal. So let's zoom out a little bit on this house to get the full property. This next view, we'll have it zoomed in a little bit more. And on the oblique view, we'll leave it zoomed right there as well. Before we jump over to the proposal, let's add a couple solar panels. So if you just click the plus button on the top here, you can just click and drag, easily add these panels here. You can also change the panel orientation, set your azimuth, or move the entire group. Now let's see what that looks like in our proposal. Hit save and continue. Once inside the proposals, you'll see the views right here. This first view you see is the zoomed out view, and we'll have arrows on either side of this where you can navigate between those views. Hitting the right arrow brings us to the more zoomed in view of the house. Hitting that again will bring us to our north oblique view. So that's how you can quickly and easily add Nearmap vertical and oblique imagery to your OpenSolar designs. For more tutorials, please visit docs.nearmap.com or send an email to support@nearmap.com. Happy solar selling!